Okay, so today we'll see 8086 memory segmentation. So basically this memory segmentation is actually a solution of a problem. So in 8085 there was no memory segmentation. The problem started with the large memory. So first we'll understand what the problem is, then we will see how memory segmentation is giving the solution to that problem. So as we all know that 8086 can access total 1 MB memory, right? Why 1 MB memory? Because the address bus is 20 bits. As we've seen in the previous videos, because the address bus is 20 bits, so with the help of 20 bits, we can access total 1 MB memory. So 8086 can access a total of 1 MB memory. Now, suppose this is the memory accessed by 8086. So this is the 8086 memory. It is total 1 MB memory, right? Now what do we store in the memory? We store program and data in the memory, right? So we store programs and data in the memory, right? What is the programs? What are the programs? That is basically the codes that we write, right? So we store code into the memory, we store data into the memory. This entire memory, which is 1 MB memory, the address range starts from 00000H to FFFFFH. Now in this memory we are storing some codes also. What is code? These are basically different instructions, right? Programs are stored sequentially, right? So here I am storing the first instruction of the program, then at the next address I am storing the next instruction, right? So like this the code will be stored, address will be incremented, right? So I am storing code into the memory. Similarly, data can be stored anywhere, right? So it is random basically. So I can store data at any direction, right? I can store anywhere in the memory the data. Similarly, stack what happens? This is the structured data, right? So it follows LIFO fashion, last in first out. So if this is the first data which is there in the stack format you have stored here, next value will be stored here, then here, right? So stack grows upward. The addresses will be decremented, right? In case of stack. In case of code, the addresses will be incremented. Data can be stored anywhere randomly, right? Now this is a recipe of a disaster. What will happen here? It's eventually the code and the stack, these two will overlap, right? So this will create some problems. So to solve to resolve this problem, the memory was segmented. There were various segments created into the memory. Now what are those segments? That we will see. So the entire 1 MB memory, there were various segments created into the memory. So there is code segment, where what happens? Addresses are incremented. Whatever data I am storing, that is stored incrementally, stored sequentially. So addresses will be incremented. Then there is a stack segment. In the stack segment, what happens? The first, well, always the top of the stack will be decrementing the address, right? So here next is the stack segment. In the stack segment, the addresses are decremented, right? So if this is the address 00000H and this is the address FFFFFH. In the stack segment, if I store the first value here, then the next value I'll push here, then the next push will be here, right? So addresses will be decremented in the stack segment. Then there is a data segment in which I can store the data anywhere in any direction, right? And suppose you have more data that you want to store, that you can store in the extra segment. So in the extra segment also you store data, right? So these were the 4 segments which were created in the memory. We have code segment, stack segment, data segment and extra segment. Okay, now who creates these segments? Programmers. When we write the programs, we create these segments. If you see an 8086 program, first thing we do is initiate the program, right? So all your programs, all your applications, they are stored in the code segment. All the programs that you are writing, all the applications which are there, they are stored into the code segment. All the data files are stored into the data segment. For example, MS Word is a program which will be stored here, but your Word documents are the data, so that will be stored here. All your data files like your songs, videos, everything will be stored into the data segment in terms of zeros and ones, obviously. So there are so many code segments for different applications. There will be different code segments. There will be different data segments. There may be different stack segments, extra segments. So it's not like that there will be only one code segment in the entire 1 MB memory and there is only one stack segment, there is only one data, then one extra segment. It's not like that. We have many code segments, many stack segments, many data segments, many extra segments in the entire 1 MB memory. So for one application, we can have a code segment. For that we can have a stack segment or a data segment or an extra segment, right? So it's not, so we can have multiple code segments, stack segment, data, or the extra segments. Now the obvious advantage of the segmentation is that it prevents the overrides, right, which was happening earlier without the segments. We have seen here that if we store data, if we keep on storing codes and we keep on storing stacks, eventually they may overlap, right? So if we have created these segments, this overlapping is the problem of the overlapping is resolved, right? Now, but there is one more problem. Okay, so what happens inside our computer? We have something called as virtual memory. Now, why? What is the need of the virtual memory? That we will see. Suppose I look at any location into the code segment. Let's say I'm talking about this particular location into the code segment. So how will I identify this location into the code segment? This location will have its own unique address, right? Suppose there is this location has address 12345H. So every location in the code segment will have a particular unique address. And what is this address called? This is called as physical address. And what is the size of the physical address? 20 bits, right? This we already know. The address bus is in 8086 is 20 bits, right? So it can carry a 20-bit address. That address is the physical address or the real or the actual address of this particular location into the code segment, right? So this address, which is of 20 bits, we call it a physical address. Now there's a serious problem with this physical address. Now what is that problem? The problem is the size of the physical address, which is what? 20 bits. Okay, now you all know that at one memory location we can store only 8-bit data, right? At one memory location I can store 8-bit data. Now my physical address is 20 bits. Now to store these 20 bits, this address also have to store somewhere in the memory, right? Now to store these 20 bits, how many memory locations I need? One location I can store 8-bit data. To store 20 bits I need 3 such locations, right? The first location I'll store 8-bit, next location again 8-bit, so 8 and 8, 16 bits. Still 4 more bits I need, so I'll take third location also. Now this location also can store 8-bit, but I'm storing only 4 bits. So 4 bits of this third location is wasted, right? So why? Because the address is 20 bits and I need to store this address also somewhere. To store this address I need 3 memory locations, and I am not using all the 20 bits, right? The 4 bits are wasted for every address. So this is for one address, right? And there are so many programs, so many code segments, stack segment, data segments, extra segment. For every address I'll be wasting these 4 bits, right? So that will be a huge amount that will be wasting, right? So what we did is we created a so this address basically is not byte compatible. This address is not byte compatible, right? Because so we want to make it byte compatible somehow. So what we did is, instead of this 20-bit physical address, we created a virtual address, and that virtual address is 16-bit. 16-bit means 2 byte. So this address we can store using 2 memory locations, right? Okay, so now this virtual address, it is a combination of 2 addresses. First is segment address and the offset address. So this as we have seen that we have created segments into the memory: code segment, stack segment, data segment, extra segment, right? So every segment will have a particular address, so that will be the segment address. So this segment address, it represents the starting address of a segment. So suppose I am talking about code segment, so the starting address of the code segment will be stored into a segment register, and starting address of the stack segment will be stored into a segment register. And similarly for the data segment also, the starting address will be stored into a segment register, and that address is called as a segment address. Extra segment ka starting address will also be stored into a segment register, and that will be a segment address, right? And so the segment address represents the starting address of a segment. So starting address of a segment is called as a segment address, and the address within a particular segment is called as the offset address. Okay. So first we give the segment address. So with the help of this address we identify that which segment we actually want to access, and then the offset address gives the location within that segment that we want to access. So there is this formula, physical address. Now how do we calculate physical address? With the help of these segment address and offset address. So physical address is given by segment address into 10H plus offset address. Okay, suppose if I talk about code segment, so the segment register for the code segment is called as CS. So CS register will have the segment address for in case of code segment, and then whatever value is there into the CS register, that will multiply with 10H plus add the value which is there in the offset register. So offset address will be there into the offset register. For the code segment, offset register is IP, instruction point. So suppose in the code segment we have a value, in the CS register we have value 1000, right? And in the IP, let's say we have value 2345. So this is the value in code in CS register. In IP register this is the value. So CS register is CS register is having the segment address, and IP register is having the offset address. And if I need to find out the physical address with the help of the segment address and the offset address, we will use this formula, segment address into 10H plus offset address. So this gives me plus 2345. So this gives me 12345H. So this is the physical address. So this is how we calculate physical address with the help of segment address and the offset address. Okay, now this is your entire memory. We have created different segments, right? So the first segment is the code segment. So this is the code segment. Then we have stack segment. We have data segment, and we have extra segment. Okay, now we saw that the virtual address is made up of segment addresses and offset addresses. Segment address represents the starting address of the segment, and offset address represents any location within that segment, right? So now these segment addresses are stored into the segment registers. So for every segment that we have created, for code segment, stack segment, data segment, extra segment, we have different segment registers. Similarly, we have different offset registers for all of these segments. So in the offset registers, offset address will be stored. In the segment registers, segment addresses will be stored. So we will see what are the segment registers and the offset registers for all of these segments. Okay. So first we'll see the segment registers. Okay. So for the code segment, the starting address of the code segment is given into the segment register. And what is the segment register for code segment? It is CS. Then for the stack segment, starting address of the stack segment is given into the segment register. What is that segment register? SS. For the data segment, starting address is given into a segment register. What is the segment register for data segment? DS. For the extra segment, segment register is ES. So the segment register will have the starting address of the segment, and if you want to access any particular location within this segment, that will be given into the offset register. Okay. Now we all know, okay, here in the because the physical address was 20 bits, which was not byte compatible, so we created the virtual address, which is 16-bit address, and this is byte compatible. These are 2 bytes, right? Physical address was 2.5 byte, 20 bits was 2.5 bytes, which was not byte compatible. So we created a virtual address which is 16-bit. Now this virtual address is made up of segment address and offset address. Both the segment address and the offset address are 16-bit addresses. So this segment address also 16-bit and offset address is also 16-bit. Okay. Now with the help of 16 bits, how many combinations are possible? 2 power 16, right? So with 16-bit 2 power 16 addresses we can have, right? So we have the offset address is 16-bit, right? So we can have 2 power 16 locations into every 16 memory locations into every segment, right? So here consider that this is a location into the code segment. This is the code segment, and this is one of the memory location into the code segment. So what will be the possible address of, what can be the address of this location? So see here because this address will be represented by the address of this particular location will be represented by the offset register, right? That this is offset address, and this will be 16-bit, right? So what can be the starting address here? 0000H for the code segment, and what can be the last address? FFFFFH. So this is the range, because with the 16 bits starting address will be 4 zeros and it will end at 4F, right? So here how many such addresses are possible? These are total 2 power 16 addresses, right? So there can be 2 power 16 such locations into the code segment. This is one location, here this is another location, this is another location. So we can have 2 power 16 such locations into the code segment, right? Now suppose this CS register is having the value 1000H. CS register is also 16-bit, right? Because it is having the segment address, starting address of the segment, which is 16-bit. So CS is, let's say, is having this value, and any location inside this segment, let's say this location, the address of this location will be stored into the offset address, right? So let's say the address of this location is, let's say, 2345H, right? Now I want to access this location, right? I want to access an instruction. The MUP wants to access the instruction which is available at this location. So what will happen? It will give the segment address and the offset address, and it has to identify the physical address with the help of the segment address and the offset address. What will be the formula that we'll be using? How we will calculate the physical address? Physical address equals to the formula that we have seen just now, segment address into 10 plus offset address. What is the segment address which is given to us? 1000 into 10H plus offset address is what? 2345H. If we solve this, we get 12345H, which is the physical address. So physical address of this location will be 12345H, which is again a 20-bit number, right? See, whenever I want to access an instruction from the memory, which address I will give? I will give physical address because my address bus is 20 bits. But the instructions which are stored into the memory, they are stored actually in the virtual they are using this virtual addresses, right? So with the help of segment address and the offset address, the MUP has to identify the physical address, and this is how the MUP calculates the physical address from the segment address and the offset address. Okay, so we have already seen what are the segment registers. Now we'll see the names of the offset registers also for all the segments. So okay, so this is your MUP 8086. Now what are the segment registers and what are the offset registers that we will see. So we have 4 segments: code segment, text segment, data segment and extra segment. For the code segment, segment register is CS, that we have already discussed, CS. The offset register for the code segment is IP, instruction pointer. Okay, so for the code segment, offset register is IP, instruction pointer. So inside the code segment you have the instructions, right? So MUP go on fetching the instructions, right? And as it fetch the instruction, IP, instruction pointer, this offset register, it points the next instruction which MUP is going to fetch, right? So this IP goes on incrementing. So the segment register for the MUP for the code segment is CS, for the offset, and the offset register for the code segment is IP. So what IP does is it has the offset address of the instruction which MUP is going to fetch next. Similarly, for the stack segment, the segment register is SS and SP is the offset register. Stack pointer is the offset register. So this SP represents the top of the stack. So suppose this is my memory and here we have stored some data, and here this is the stack segment, okay, in the memory stack segment. Here this is the top of the stack. Let's say right now this location is the top of the stack. So address of this location will be stored into the SP register, stack pointer, offset register. This is the SP register. This is the offset register for the stack segment, and the starting location of the stack segment is represented by the SS, by the segment register. Similarly, for the data segment, we have already discussed the segment register is DS, and the offset register for data segment is SI. For the extra segment, segment register is ES, and the offset register is DI. Okay, so I'll repeat. The segment register is used to store the starting address of a particular segment, and the offset addresses represents any location within that segment. Okay, so we give segment address only once. We give offset address every time, right? But we don't give segment address every time. Suppose I want to work into a code segment, I'll give the CS, the segment address once, and then now I am inside that segment register, I will keep on giving the offset address now. Okay. So we have one, for every segment we have one segment register and one offset register, but for the stack segment we have another offset register, that is BP. And why do we have it? Let's see with the help of an example. Suppose this is my memory. In this memory, this is the stack segment, and I am storing some data, and let's say this point is okay. So currently this is the top of the stack segment, which is there in the SP segment register of the stack segment. Now I want to push 20 values into the stack. So I'll push the first value, push the second value. Every time this SP will be here now. This will now, I'll push the second value, this SP will be this now. So this SP represents the top of the stack segment, right? So like that I push the 20th value, and this will be represented by the SP now. Now after pushing all the values, I realized that okay, the second value which I have pushed is wrong. So what will I do? I'll pop the 18 values and then again push the correct values. That is not a good idea, right? So we should have some other method, right? So there is another offset register for the stack segment, which is called as BP, base pointer. So this base pointer represents any location within the stack. So stack pointer represents the top of the stack, currently top of the stack, and base pointer is used to represent any location within the stack. So if I want to change only this particular location, any value at this particular location, I can access it with the help of BP register base pointer. Okay, now let's say if the value in the CS register is 1000H, then what is the physical address of the first location in the code segment? What do we find? What do we need to find? Physical address of first location of code segment. I need to find physical address, right? What is the formula for physical address? Segment address into 10 plus offset address, right? So what is the segment address? Segment address will be there into which register? We are talking about code segment, right? For the code segment, what is the segment register? CS. And what is the offset register? IP, right? We have seen right now for the code segment. See, this is for the code segment. This was for the stack segment, for the data segment, and for the extra segment. For the code segment, segment register is CS and offset register is IP. I need to identify the physical address, right? So the physical address, to get the physical address, I need to see the values into the segment register and the offset register. Segment register for the code segment is CS. So what is the value given here? Into 10 plus offset address. Now what is the offset address for code segment? IP. Now what they are saying? The physical address of the first location of the code segment. So what will be the first location of the code segment? So if you see here, we have seen the address range of a particular segment will start with all zeros to FFFF, right? So the first address is 0000H. So starting address is this. So in the IP 0000, this is the starting address. So if I solve this, I'll get 10000H, right? So this is the physical address. Next question, if let's say SS stack segment, this register, SS register is having the value 3000, then what will be the physical address of last location of stack segment? Now again, what is the formula that I'm going to use? Physical address equals to segment address into 10 plus offset address, right? So now I'm talking about stack segment, right? So stack segment ka, what is the segment register for the stack segment? SS, right? So this segment register will have the segment address. So it is having value 3000 into 10H plus offset address. Offset address will be into stack pointer or base pointer. Now what it is saying? Physical address of the last location of the stack segment. So what will be the last location? FFFF, right? So last location is FFFF. If I solve this, I get 30000 plus FFFF, which is 3FFFF. Correct? If in the same question they say physical address of the first location of the stack segment, so here you will write 0000 instead of FFFF. Okay. Now suppose DS. What is DS? Segment register for the data segment. If DS let's say is 5134, then what will be the first location of the DS, the data segment will begin at what location? 51340, right? Because the first offset address will be 0000, right? So the data segment will begin at this address. So this is the physical address for the first location of the data segment, right? Or if I say that I start my data segment at location let's say 51340, then DS will be 5134. This value will be there into the DS register, right? Okay, now if I say that I want to start my data segment at location 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, then this is not possible. Why? Because see, a segment cannot begin at any location that you want. The starting, it should always be a multiple of 10, right? So the segment which should any segment can begin at a location which is a multiple of 10. So this, if you want that your segment should begin at this location, that is not possible here. In 8086, what is that rule that you have to follow? That a segment should begin at a location which is multiple of 10. Okay, so suppose if my segment begins at location 5, 2, 3, 4, 0H, let's say my segment begins at this location, then what is the location at which I can begin my next segment? So the next segment can begin at location 350H, 52350H. So this is the first segment, the starting address of the first segment, and the next segment can begin after the 10H bytes only. We cannot begin the other segment at a location which is not a multiple of 10. Okay, so what is the minimum size of a segment? What is the minimum size of a segment? 10H bytes, right? Because we cannot begin a segment at a location which is not a multiple of 10, right? So if one segment is starting at this location, the next segment can not begin before this address. So 10H bytes are there between these two addresses, right? So minimum size of a segment should be is 10H bytes. What is the meaning of 10H bytes? 16 locations, right? 10H bytes means 16 locations. So there can be minimum, there are 16 locations into one segment. And what is the maximum size of a segment? Here we have seen the starting address can be 0000 and it can go up to FFFFH. So total with the help of 16 bits, if we can have 2 power 16 locations into this, right? So 2 power 16 means 64 KB. So there can the maximum size of a segment can be 64 KB and minimum 10 bytes, 10H bytes. Now okay, now we know that maximum size of a segment is 64 KB, right? And there are total 4 segments, right? Code segment, stack segment, data segment and extra segment. So total memory which is used at a time is 64 KB into 4, because one segment can maximum be of 64 KB and we have 4 such segments: code segment, stack segment, data segment, extra segment. So only this much memory is used at a time. In my memory there can be various code segments. This is a code segment of one program, then I can have a code segment, another code segment of another program. I have data segment for one program, another data segment for another program. So we can have multiple code segments, multiple data segments, extra segments, and stack segment. But at a time, only the program which is running, for that program, the code segment, data segment, extra segment, stack segment of that program only will be used, right? So only this much memory is used at a time. So that is what is the disadvantage of the segmentation. Thank you.